The teen empowerment, right?
Okay. So I think we can start off, sir. Not an issue.
No, but the recording.
Sir, actually, it's happening.
Can we start?
So there's a lot of echo. I don't know why, but from your end.
The echo is due to
Is it okay now?
എൻ്റെ ഫോണുകൾ ഒരുമിച്ചുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എക്കോ ഉണ്ടാവും.
Is it okay now?
ഒരു ഫോണിൽ മ്യൂട്ട്
Yes, it's absolutely fine.
Oh, correct. So now just start with the introduction, okay?
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening. Welcome all for our Teen Empowerment Club program. To inaugurate the session, I would like to invite Brother Mohamed Yusuf to give the introduction about Teen Empowerment Club and our guest speaker of this evening, Brother Mohamed Ikan. Brother Mohamed Yusuf.
Hello.
Yes. Please start.
Kind greetings to all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Good evening to everyone. Teen Empowerment Club, TECH. Teen Empowerment Club is there to help young people understand the world around them. They are there to advise young people with their future, to talk about the past and even help them with the present. The beneficial outcomes to teen empowerment programs are improved social skills, improved behavior, increased academic achievement, increased self-esteem, and increased self-efficacy. Now I would like to introduce our guest speaker of this evening, Brother Mohamed Ikan. Brother Mohamed Ikan is Director, Society for Training and Development in Lakshadweep. He is educator and soft skills expert for 15 years for different industries, corporate, educational institutions, medical, defense, NGO developments, etc. On behalf of Teen Empowerment Club and all of us, I request Brother Mohamed Ikan to deliver your valuable presentation. Thank you. Jazakallahu khairan.
Thank you so much. Sir, I think we can start off. A lot of people joining in. So meantime, let's not waste time because there are a lot of people who are waiting for me also. So in the name of Almighty, I would like to start the day the most gracious and the most beneficial. My name is Mohamed Ikan. Basically, I'm from Lakshadweep. Those people who don't know me, let me introduce myself. And I've been staying in Kerala for the last 10 years now. I often go to Lakshadweep as well to take some ministry level projects. Now, regarding me, who am I? Already, Brother Mohamed Yusuf has explained. By the way, I don't want to stretch up those things, so let's go ahead and speak out today's topic. And today's topic is really important for me as well as for you. But sitting on a chair, it's very difficult for me to present it. So, I always do a presentation on the stage or maybe like standing where you can see the body language as well. Okay. So I have given the chat box. Before I start everything, I would like to tell you one thing. I'm going to keep every single person in mute mode, except I think Mohamed Yusuf, the person who introduced me, because once in a while, if I have to ask something, whether my audio is clear, I would be asking questions to them. Okay. So let me put every single person into mute mode now. And I think we can start off with the day. So Mohamed Yusuf, I hope you can hear me. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, speaking about presentation, I would love to start the class with a beautiful question. I know that a lot of people would love to answer this question, but this is a little different from what you normally think. Uh, the question goes like this: if you know really how to use this Zoom platform, you would have seen something called more button on your mobile screen, or you can see a reaction button on your laptop screen. If you know the answer, you can give me a thumb, or you can just simply give me a clap, whatever you like. Okay, so somewhat like this. You can put it like this. So this is how we are going to communicate each other. And yeah, let me see how well you can communicate with me, please. If you feel you know how to do it, please give me a thumb, or maybe a heart, or maybe whatever you like on the screen, please. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Mohammed, Nizar, Ayman. Oh, very good. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay. Now, this is one thing which I do normally to keep the crowd a little engaged. So make sure that you keep a little self, especially when it comes to part of listening. So keep yourself a little open up and be a little ready to listen. Okay. I promise you one thing, there are a lot of students also in today's class because it's teen empowerment, TEC. So I would rather keep my language level very simple so that you can understand my English better. And I promise I won't be using any tough words throughout the session, okay? Now the time is 8:37. We are supposed to take half an hour journey along with me to learn something regarding how to be a great presenter, or maybe you can call it presentation skill. Now, the best of presentation happens, as I said, when you stand, you can use your body language and all these things. Fine. Let me ask a question. The question goes like this. Have you heard of some place called the Valley of Death? Now, before we go to the Valley of Death, how many have heard of a place called Silent Valley? Silent Valley. If you have heard of Silent Valley, you can give me a thumb on the screen, please. Silent Valley. Yep. Great, thank you. And how many have heard of something called the Valley of Death? Now, this is a very strange question because, when I say a Valley of Death, some people have given me a shock on the screen. Let me explain you what exactly is Valley of Death, okay? You see, there's a place called USA, America, and in America, there's a place called Michigan. Now, in the state of Michigan, if you take the outskirts, you go through a particular area, almost like 250 kilometers ahead outskirts, that you can see a huge mountain, really huge. And it's a tourist spot where people travel up. And what happens is they can see a very steep mountain over there, a kind of very steep rock where people can stand and kind of walk on it. And you have a railing, kind of steel railing over there. So you can lean and you can get the view of it. And it's believed it's so high that if somebody is standing there, you wouldn't even see the people down. It's like really high, okay? And you can feel the air touching your body. You can feel that chill cold thing, which is happening over there. Now, let me tell you, it is said when you look at from the top of that particular steep rock, you can see people very small. Even the river, which is smaller, river which is flowing, it looks like a thread, okay? Now, I believe I was quite happy enough to give you a clear idea about Valley of Death. Now, my question is very simple, okay? How many of you are able to visualize what I said? Give me a thumb on the screen. How many of you are able to visualize what I said? I said something about Valley of Death. Visualize means you are able to see okay, fine, there's a mountain, there's a steep rock, and people standing there, there's a steel railing there. And you know what? The air is hitting your body. How many of you are able to visualize? Means you are able to see in your mind. That is what I'm asking you. Great, thank you so much. Now I'm getting a lot of thumbs on the screen. Now, before I explain you much, let me tell you there is no particular place called Valley of Death, okay? Now you must be thinking, sir, what are you doing? Are you bluffing something? No, let me tell you. What I did is basically I presented something in front of you in such a way you were able to visualize that in a particular way. So one of the best qualities of a great presenter is the way you present it has to be so nice that every single person sitting there should be able to visualize what you exactly are trying to convey as a message. Okay. Now, more on presentation skills, I would love to share a small PPT with you so that you can understand better what exactly I mean out of presentation. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at a PPT because the time is clicking on. Mohamed Yusuf, I really want you to tell me whether you are able to see the PPT or not. Please help me out with that, okay? Once it's coming on the screen, and just let me know.
Yes, sir. It is clear. It is seen.
Okay. Now, You see, this is something which a lot of people have when it comes to presentation. A lot of people have this issue, like, they say, I have no idea how to face a crowd. I have no idea what to do. My heartbeat increases. I start sweating. A lot of things happen. Okay. But let me tell you, my dear sisters and brothers, if you really want to be a great presenter, the only way to get through this fear is by practicing. You can either do mirror practice. So end of the session, I'll be happy enough to clear your doubts, how to overcome the fear of presenting and how to design all these things. Okay, so let me move ahead. That's my name, Mohamed Ikan. I've kept a name like presentation skills, and I'm an image consultant, come a soft skill expert, the director of STDL, that stands for Society for Training and Development in Lakshadweep. Okay, so let's move ahead. So it goes like this. The first one, I guess you are very much familiar with this personality called A.R. Rahman. When it comes to music, he is just a legend. That's what I would say. But look at carefully when he comes on a stage, the way he presents speaks so much about his music. Correct. His music is really nice, but the way he presents himself on the stage also speaks about the way he puts things across. So I would love to say one thing: a legend is not born. It's like how you or what you make out of yourself. So if you really want to be a fantastic presenter, you have to hit stages. You have to really start practicing. You have to start with smaller groups, maybe 10, maybe 5, maybe 10, whatever you like, just put across, okay? Then only you're going to develop it. So moving ahead, this is a thing which really holds. There are a lot of people having this particular thing called the fear. So before I go ahead and explain you how to overcome this thing, let me explain you how does this fear come from. You see, speaking more on fear, the one way that fear enters your life is because of doubts. You have a lot of self-doubt happening. What's going to happen? How am I going to do it? Like, what if I get stuck? How is my English? Is my English like, really bad? Are you able to hear me, guys? I can see someone raising their hand. Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Mohammed
yes,
Yusuf.
it is clear.
Great,
Yes, it is
thank you.
clear.
So what I'm trying to say is, like, have you ever asked this question to yourself? What is holding me back? I have no idea what happens when it comes to presentation. If you have ever asked this question, give me a thumb on the screen. Come on, give me a thumb on the screen if you have ever asked this question. Good, thank you so much. Now, let me tell you one thing, this is something very natural in people. The best of the presenters of this world, when they started the first time, they always had this fear of failure or maybe losing their self, maybe like getting stuck. What if I don't get the sentence? So we'll be discussing a couple of things on that, okay? Because if I don't help you to overcome this fear, even if you have the best of the PhDs or the best of the content, you won't be able to deliver it in such a way, like, you are not able to present in a better way, and you won't be ever satisfied with that as well, okay? So moving ahead. So my next slide speaks about that. Now look at those 4 points which I have written over there. And I have a request, whoever is scribbling on the screen, like, please, it's a humble request. Don't touch the screen, let me complete it. And after that, you can scribble whatever you like, okay? It's a fantastic job. You're active, showing me, right? So the first thing that comes to your mind is, many people, they think like, sir, I really don't have any previous, experience on facing a crowd or maybe like presenting a topic. So this is one fear that actually comes inside you. And the only way to break this fear is by doing it. So there's a saying in English, like, if you want to overcome the fear, face it. See, any one of the things will happen. Either you will fail or you will win. But I wouldn't recommend you to fail, because you should prepare yourself better, practice yourself better, so that you don't fail. And once in a while, like, making a mistake is absolutely fine. Even there are places where, my PPT gets stuck. Sometimes the mic doesn't work, a lot of technical issues happen. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to put it yourself and make sure that you feel like you are confident and you're putting the things across, okay? The next thing is called self-doubt. My goodness, this is something really big. A lot of people have this thing called self-doubt. And the self-doubt happens something like, what if? What if? What if I fail? What if I don't get the word? What if? Please stop using this particular thing called what if. Yeah, those people are raising their hands up. I recommend you to be there, because I'll be coming back to on screen. Right now I'm on the screen of what do you call the slides, okay? And a humble request, those people are scribbling, a lot of people are watching, so please make sure that you control those things. The next thing is called lack of proper knowledge. You see, when you don't have the right knowledge of talking about something, when you really don't have the knowledge of what you're going to express, when you don't have the knowledge of what kind of objective or what kind of output you really want from that particular session, you end up giving a very, very weak presentation. Some people have this habit of depending on the slides. Some people have the habit of putting things across in such a way, like, they will talk really fine, but there won't be much content into it. See, always understand there are different types of crowds. Some crowds, some people like content. Some people like body language. Some people like the way you present it. Now, if you have a notebook with you, I really want you to write down a small mantra. I really want you to write down a small mantra in the notebook. And this is called the mantra of presentation. And presentation is like a discussion is what you talk. In a discussion, we say it's what you talk. But in a presentation, it is how you talk or how you put it across. See, you may have 4 to 5 points, but it all depends on the way you put it across to the people so that they understand better what you're going to talk. So in a presentation, it is how you talk, and in a discussion, it's what you talk. So there's a little slight difference in that. So if you want to present something really fine, then you have to have a perfect language, simple enough so that people can understand. The second thing is like kind of a body language, which I'll be discussing in the coming slides. Okay, so make sure that you just take off that particular thing, start focusing on the objective, what you want out of this session, and move on. Okay, and the next thing is called not knowing how it will be. So again, this is a kind of a self-doubt that a lot of people carry. Every doubt has a reason and a cause, always understand. And if you really want to move ahead and clear all your doubts, you have to do enormous practice, and that's the only way which can help you to. You record yourself, you find out where exactly you go wrong, and this is where you need a kind of a mentor or maybe somebody who can help you in that aspect. Okay, so moving ahead. At the next slide. Yeah, look at carefully. This is something with a lot of people take. They are psychologically so disturbed, and physiologically also that shows on their body language when they present it. So always remember to involve two things when you go ahead and give a presentation. The first thing is psychologically you should be prepared. Now, let me put it this way, okay? Psychology here I mean is like the mindset that you carry. Now, for example, I say, if you are a junior engineer, maybe if you are an entry-level manager in a company, or maybe like you're just a fresher in a company, and you're getting a chance to present a topic in front of the top-level managers, what happens? You get so nervous that you may not be able to put it across. If I give the same topic to be presented in front of a group of school students, you will be damn confident. So look at why this happens. It happens because the way you think, the mindset that you carry, that is a very essential thing when it comes to presentation. So set your mindset, keep in mind like, okay, fine, this is my show and I'm going to put my best self, and this is the best I can do for the crowd. So this is how it has to be. And let me put a question here. Like, a lot of students complain me saying, sir, I always carry a sentence on the stage, and that question is like, what others will think about me. Now, some people have this intuition, what others will think about me. Now, let me tell you, if you have a habit of carrying this particular thing called what others will think about you, make sure that you just say the other question to yourself. And the other question is, what others will think about me is decided by me. It's not them. They have all the rights to decide about your presentation, but what others will think about me has to be decided by me. That means I'm the one who's going to prepare it better, and I'm the one who's going to put it across so that I get the best result out of it. Okay, I hope you understand. So this is how it's gonna be. Yeah. Now that's the first thing. Now let's go to the next one and involve your psychology and physiology. Now after some time I'm going to get up, I'm going to show you how you can involve your physiological aspects when it comes to presentation. Okay, so moving on. Okay, now if you have a piece of paper, I really want you to look at this particular slide and understand your first impression is your best impression. Now just imagine if I would have started the class like this. Watch me carefully, okay? My name is Mohamed Ikan, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most important thing, and that is called presentation. And as we all know, presentations are, what will happen? You are judging me from every aspect, am I correct? Now, there are a lot of people who do like this. All right, everyone, let's do it. No, that doesn't work either way, because my topic is professional presentation. If you want to carry a professional presentation, your body language has to be correct, your gestures has to be correct, your facial expression has to be correct, your movements of the self has to be correct, and distance has to be correct, the kind of distance that you carry with the crowd, the touch. Some people have this habit of playing like this. Some people have their, I have no idea, Some people touch their nose, some people touch. Please avoid anything above your navel level. You should never raise it, like, you should not touch any place over your navel level, because that shows you are not pretty much confident of what you're going to talk. So make sure that whatever you do has to have all these areas, keep in mind. And I'm not going to explain you this right now because I have another set of things which is going to support this one so that you'll understand better, okay? Just keep in mind, in body language area, you need to have full control on your body posture, which I'm going to explain you. The second is your gestures, the kind of hand movements, the head movements, head nodding, everything. Next is facial expression. Now, you see, if you ask me like, okay, how are you? I can give the answer like this. I'm fine. If somebody can ask me, what's your name? I can say like this. My name is Mohammed. If you ask me second time, what's your name? Even I can say like this. My name is Mohammed. If somebody asks me third time, what's your name? I can even say, well, my name is Mohammed. Which was better? The last one was better because the last one expresses your face, and your face is an essential part which plays when it comes to your presentation, okay? Be cool. Be cool. Just keep yourself calm. And I know that your heartbeat might go up to 100 plus, but keep yourself calm, okay? And just put it across that way. And control your movements of your body when it comes to presentations, okay? Not too much of walking on the stage, not too much of walking inside the class. So control yourself, okay? And distance with the people has to be also controlled, and that is how it has to be, okay? Now, moving on to the next slide. Yeah, this is something which normally I talk when I talk about body language. There are 4 things in body language. Certain things are genetic. Some people have that genetic way of, that particular way of standing, maybe the particular way of nodding their head, particular way of looking at the things, which is literally inborn. Some people are like, personal actions. They have little personal actions that they do. Like, sometimes you must have seen the Shah Rukh Khan, like, whenever in a movie you can see he's always using his hands like this. Yeah, Bruce Lee has this thing, he has this little activity where, let me put mute. Okay, now Bruce Lee has this habit of touching the nose when it comes to fighting and all, correct? Every single person has a unique personal action that he carries. Now you must have seen some trainers, they keep their hands like this. Some people keep their hands like this, like this. Some people have it like this. Okay, very personal things. Next is called the social actions. Now there are certain actions which are absorbed. So as I said, personal actions, social actions are already, these are things that we absorb from some other person, or maybe like from another person who they have seen the person doing that, okay? So they absorb it. And the last thing which I believe is a deliberate training. Remember, any person on earth, I would say, can be trained, starting from a person who is really fresh, even to an experienced person. If the person is ready to learn and unlearn certain things, you can be trained. And this is where my session comes, okay? And that's all about this particular aspect. Now, I want all of you to look at the screen very carefully. Please do not touch the screen, because these are very valuable points. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it if you really want, but don't mess up, okay? So basic parameters of a presentation. Now, basic parameter of a presentation happens like this. You need to keep few things in mind in order to put your best self, because people are going to judge you. People are going to judge you based on these parameters which I've given here. Number 1, the first one is called the voice. Now imagine if I use a voice, see, I'm using my headset right now because the voice has to go clear. What if I speak like this? All right, the first point which I really want to explain is regarding the voice. Some people have this habit. So we always recommend any crowd about 25 to 35. Anything about 35, I suggest you to use a mic when you're giving a presentation. Any crowd above 35. If the hall is really big, use a mic. It's mandatory, okay? Because you cannot yell and you cannot put too much of pressure on your throat. And when you're bringing the voice has to come from your stomach. When you are ready to bring your voice from the stomach, you would be able to put things in a nicer way. Got it? Because you won't get tired. Your throat will never get tired when it comes to putting things bringing the voice from the stomach. Now you must be asking, sir, how will I bring it? Yeah, just keep your esophagus straight and you can say hi. Yeah, hi. The air comes really better and you can take the full lung. Yeah, hi. This is how you put it across. The first thing is audible. So voice has to be clear and it has to be audible. The second thing is for clarity. And when it comes to clarity, there is no doubt it has a lot of privilege and it has a lot of priority when it comes to clarity. Now, imagine if I'm talking to you, I'm using my best of the words, the high-tech vocabulary, and people don't understand anything. What if I use a language which is simple, easy to understand, and each and every word which I speak, it is crystal clear, then what happened? The crowd loves you, the crowd understands you. And in this one, I really want to explain you one thing, voice and clarity. Judge the crowd before you talk. If the crowd is kind of a kind of very basic crowd, use the simplest of the languages so that people can understand you better. Okay. The next thing is called posture and gestures. Now, I really don't know how far this place is going, this camera as well as this place is going to help me. But if we are okay enough, I just want to show you how to stand. I hope you can see me for some way. If you can see me, that's better. Okay. See, when you are giving a presentation, always understand to keep your shoulders broad. Now, if I take off my blazer, you can see there are some people who just droop their shoulders like this. This is absolutely wrong. You're supposed to keep your shoulders broad and not too back, okay, like this. That's wrong. Keep your shoulders broad. Now, if you look carefully in blazers, you have a sponge-like stuff, which actually gives a little broader shoulder, okay? Now, if you're not using a sponge, make sure that you keep your shoulders broad. Now, how to keep the shoulders broad is one thing which I want to teach you. Listen very carefully. Rule 1, always stand straight and keep your chin straight. Now, right now, I'm actually looking at my camera, so, I have to look down. But if I look straight, my chin has to be always straight. Do not lift your head like this. So when you're lifting your head like this, the crowd is understanding that, you are keeping a lot of head weight on yourself, maybe your attitude, got it? Now, there are people who keep their heads lower also. So make sure that you keep your head, chin straight, and body straight. That's the point number 1. In posture, point number 2 is you need to take your hand to this level. This angle has to be a 90-degree angle. Always understand this angle has to be a 90-degree angle. And you can keep your hands like this, or like this, or like this. But for freshers, for beginners, I wouldn't recommend you keep your hands like this because there are high tendencies of pressing. And every time you press your hand, it shows nervousness, okay? This is wrong because there are people who clench their fingers, they press their fingers. This is wrong because you get more nervous and you start pressing. This is absolutely wrong. So you can keep it in a loosey and lousy way like this, but condition apply. This angle has to be a 90-degree angle. I would like to say one more thing. A lot of trainers teach in different ways. Some people say this is correct. Some people say this is correct. Don't get confused, okay? In body language, there is only one rule. You need to keep your shoulders broad, hands in a position where your shoulder is perfect. You look really nice. And your hands, you can move your hands like this. If the crowd is small, keep the hands closer, move it like this. If the crowd is big, you can stretch your hands a little bit. Absolutely perfect. Not a problem about it, okay? So keep that in mind. So keep your body correct. And ladies, you can keep your hands like this, not a problem. And use one hand when you talk. I'm going to give a demo. Watch me, okay? Watch me. Hi, everyone. Well, this is me, Mohamed Ikan, and I'm really happy today because I'm going to talk on a beautiful topic called presentation. See, my hands are moving, my eyes are moving, my face are moving. Everything has to be aligned, okay? And the next thing is called the chin level, which I explained to you. Next is called the facial expression, which I already explained to you. Next is eye contact. Yeah, very important point is eye contact. You see, in eye contact, one of the most important thing is the way you keep your eyes on the people. Some people have a habit of they start looking at one area and they'll be looking at that. Now, some people they even get stuck because they don't remember what they're about to talk. So they start looking up. Oh yeah, no idea. Now, the only way you can keep your eye contact is always remember, start from the back of the crowd. Always remember to starting from the back of the crowd. You can say, I'm going to give a demo, watch me, okay? And imagine there's a front row in front of me. So the back, the front now. Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. Well, my name is Mohamed Ikan, and I'm going to speak on a beautiful topic called presentation. So I finish my eye contact on somebody who is sitting in the front row. Now, imagine if I do it the other way. I start from the front and go to the back. Now, watch me, okay? Hi, everyone. Well, my name is Mohamed Ikan, and today I'm going to talk about a beautiful topic called presentation. Now, that's going to be weird because your eye goes there. So always remember to start your eye contact from the back, continue eye contact in the center of the people, then finish in the front row. Simple as it is, okay? Now, let me have a seat back so that I can explain you much better things, okay? Mohamed Yusuf, I hope my voice is clear. There's a little issue with my camera today. I don't know. There's a little blurredness happening, but I guess I'm visible. Am I visible? Hello?
Yes, brother, you are visible.
Thank you so much. So nice of you, sir. The next thing is called the most important thing which I would ever say, energy and enthusiasm. Please take a notebook and write down this beautiful sentence, okay? Energy and enthusiasm. You cannot be a source of positive energy. I repeat, you cannot be a source of positive energy if you don't have energy. If you really want to give somebody some energy, you should have a lot of energy. I repeat, you cannot be a source of positive energy if you don't have energy. So you need to have a lot of energy when you're presenting yourself. See, I'm using my 150% of energy because I love my session. And the moment you start loving what you give, you get the best out of you. So put your best energy level, okay? That doesn't mean like you shout on the platform. No. Use the platform in a better way. Make sure that you have total control on your energy level. Never get exhausted. Breathe properly. Take long breaths and express, speak. And if your mic is really good, you can always optimize the kind of energy level that you're carrying, okay? The next thing is called pause. One of the most important things in presentation is pausing. Now, for example, I can give you, I need somebody who can help me. Ayman, are you there? Ayman, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayman, you're going to ask me my name. Come on, ask me my name.
What's your name, sir?
Okay, my name is Mohamed Ikan. Now, Ayman, you can ask my wife's name. Let's see how it
So
works.
what's
Ask my
your
wife's
wife's name, sir?
Yeah, my wife's name is, you see what I've done is like I just paused. So the moment I paused, what happened? I said my wife's name is. Now there's always a curiosity of the crowd to listen what's going to come next. Clear? There's always a curiosity of the crowd to hear what is going to come next. So all you have to do is to stop just in front of the most important word which you are going to say. Then you say that. Simple as it is. Now, for example, I'm saying, today I'm going to talk about, the crowd is waiting automatically. So pausing at the right place plays a very important role if you want to make your presentation very, very effective. And you can always pause. You can note it down just in front of the most important word. Simple. Okay. And the next thing is tone. Yeah. This is one of my favorite things, tone. I will be talking about the tone once I finish my PPT because I don't want a PPT to talk about the tone, okay? So we'll talk about the tone in the, what you call TN, this question answer session. The next thing is called the pace, the speed of which when you're presenting a topic, how good you can present a topic and how fast you can present a topic. The speed has to be correct. See, I've been given 30 minutes time. We start up by 8:37. Now it's almost like 9 o'clock. Half an hour, I have few slides, not too much of it, okay? And when I'm going to close the slide, I'm going to explain you how to design your content, how good it should look like, and where you can have a little discussion with me as well, okay? So pace is the speed of the language that you carry when you are presenting the topic. Remember, be time bound. A lot of people kill other people's time. And remember, no crowd is going to sit if they are really, if you feel like, you're dragging your presentation. You may have 25 slides to come. You may have 25 slides to get over. Maybe you may have 50 slides. I have seen people carrying 50 slides to a training program, maybe a presentation program, and they think my duty is to finish all these slides and the crowd is dead. Never ever do that, okay? Take the best of the slides, make some bullet points, make sure that you understand how you're going to put it across, and use your best of your content so that the crowd is happy, they get the best input within 30 minutes time. So if you're preparing 30 minutes presentation, your slides has to be limited depending on what you're going to talk. See, I'm just holding this slide. I can take a session on this slide for hour because I have so much of content into it, but I just want to hold it to yourself because I want to give the cream, the best part of this presentation, and start working on it, okay? So the next thing is called fillers. Now, what do you mean by fillers? A lot of people have this problem, they when they talk, they make this noise like, even Americans have this problem, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but let me tell you, it's not good if you repeatedly say that. I'm going to give a demo, watch me, okay? I'm going to give an introduction about myself. Hello, well, my name is Mohammed. About my family, there are 4 members. I live in Trandrum. I'm married. I'm working as a trainer. I'm from Minikoy, Lakshadweep. See, what did you hear? You only heard that sound, am I correct? Which is kind of annoying. Or else you can go like, hello sir, well, my name is Mohammed. About my family, there are 4 members, including me. I did my graduation in chemistry. I stay in Toronto. I take sessions for the government bodies as well as private corporate companies with them. So if you really want to get that happening, follow the ratio of 8:1. After 8 words, even if you're making an little it's absolutely fine, not a problem. People can still understand. Do not come down like 4 words 3 words no. Make sure that you don't do such things. Okay, simple as it is. Now we are moving ahead because I have to discuss something on tone. So let me stop the sharing part. Okay, guys, those people who are quite good enough with a good network, they can come on the screen, or else you can you can listen to me so that I'm going to explain it better. Okay, let's start. So one of the most important things which I really want to share today in this presentation is 4 things which I have not put in the slide. Okay, it's out of my slide. Number 1, your content. Whatever you prepare, that has to be precise. The content should have some very valuable points that should include facts, numbers, data, reports, whatever you can put, so that whatever content you put, that has to be thought-provoking. When the people look at the screen, they should feel like, okay, this makes sense to me. Yeah, this is a point. And if you really feel like this is not your content, you can even put something on behalf of somebody, and you can give a reference below, okay, referred from this particular book. Absolutely perfect, not a problem. Clear? So keep a reference below that. Okay, this is from so and so thing. The sources was this. That's the best way to develop your content. And in content, you should have little explanations, facts. Again, I'm saying explanations, facts. We have what do you call that? Surveys, your data, like any sort of information that you get has to be inculcated as we put in the presentation, especially I would say the content part of it. Okay, the next part is a very important thing, and the next part is like the delivery part. I explained to you the best of ways to deliver with the help of your presentation, the voice clarity, the body language, everything. The delivery plays another important role. Another thing which is very important, third thing, it is called connecting with the crowd. That is a difficult part. I call it ice breaking. You may call it in your way, but I would say connecting with the crowd plays a really important role. And if you're not able to connect with the crowd, then it's going to be very, very difficult. Always understand, my dear sisters and brothers, it takes 30 seconds for the crowd to judge who you are. Only 30 seconds. 30 seconds, within 30 seconds, they will judge, okay, fine, yeah, this guy makes sense. Or maybe like he's going to do something like this. Okay, I think, I'm going to get something valuable from this person. It all depends on the first impression that you carry. And to develop that first impression is not an easy job. You can always start. See, I have seen a lot of trainers using their own techniques, okay? Let me put it my way. I was trained by a guy from Michigan, USA. And his name was Muzaffar, okay? My trainer, my guru, always used to say one thing: never start a kind of a session with a question. Always. I have seen a lot of people, starting session with the help of a question, like, okay, hello, sir, hello, everyone. Well, today I'm going to talk about this thing. Have you heard of something like this? That's a very common way, okay? But instead of that, I'm going to share one tool which you can write it down, which can help you, okay? And this tool is called Seek, S-E-E-Q. S-E-E-Q, seek. Vertically write on seek. So S stands for a situation or a story. Like today I started the class with a little situation which I created basically. Like, no, there is no place called Valley of Death in real. So I said there is something like this, and I was trying to get your whole focus into my story or situation. So you can always start a class, always start a presentation so that you can get the full focus of the people to you with the help of a situation, by narrating a situation, or you can go with a story if possible. But don't make it a kind of a big story. Okay? A small one is okay. The second point is called E. Then E stands for example. Every time you want to share a point, you can go with a little example. Okay, for example, like this. For example, like this. Okay, this is what happened, and this was a kind of a, support your points with little examples, but not too much. Okay, another point. The third E, that means the second E, sorry. The first E is example. The second E is called experience. This is something which can touch people's heart. If you have a small experience which you want to share, believe me, that's the best of the things which can touch people's heart. That's what I would love to say. Because last time when I came for this same platform where we were having a session, I had a doubt to the other trainer. I was sharing one of my personal experiences, and that was the best thing. The whole crowd was silent. They were listening to what has happened. You know what? Sharing an experience, but not too much of personal things. Okay, I wouldn't recommend that. You can share an experience which you have had, or maybe your friend had, that can get the whole crowd to the topic or to the content which you're going to speak, or maybe starting the punch. That's what I say. And the last Q, SEEQ. The Q stands for quotes. You can even start the class with a beautiful quote. So and so person said a quote like this. Gandhi said, life is a tragedy for those who feel it, and a comedy for those who think it. So you can always start a class with the help of a quote also. So this is one technique which can help you to connect with the audience. So I would say content is important, the delivery style. You have your unique style of delivering it. Please try to connect with the crowd in your own styles. And another thing is, one second. And another thing is the way of connecting with the crowd. And the last one is the tonality that you carry. Very important thing. So now I have calmed up my tone so that this is a session where you are keen to listen what I'm going to talk. So I have lowered my tone. I'm talking in a very, very kind of composed tone. Now let me put it this way, okay? The last point of this, tone are of 4 types. There are different types of tones, but I would recommend you to focus on 4 types of tones. Out of that, 2 are dangerous, never use it. The rest of the 2 are really good for presentations. Number 1 is called aggressive tone. Some people have this aggressive way of talking. Never use an aggressive tone on the presentations, because people may not like it. So the more you are aggressive, the more people think, okay, yeah, this no, not good. So lower self. The second type of thing is called advising. I have seen n number of people using this advising tone, especially those grown-ups, okay? The people who are of the little above age, especially students. You must have seen some teachers always advising. Now, for example, I can give you, how many of you love your mother? If you love your mother, give me a thumb on the screen. Come on. Give me a thumb on the screen if you love your mother. Good. Now, do you remember there was a day when you literally yelled at your mom back, or maybe you literally said, oh, Mama, like in Malayalam, it's like, oh, yeah, I heard it. Because your mom is telling you, drink that tea, the tea is getting colder, the tea is getting colder, the food is getting colder, it's on the table, so please do that. No. See, the problem is your mom is correct, but she's using a simple tone, which is advising, always advising. And nowadays, kids don't like people to advise. So I would recommend not to use an advising tone when it comes to presentation. So always go with the third type of tone. It is called suggestive. Now, see, I'm using a suggestive tone. I'm suggesting you. I'm not telling you, okay, you have to use this. No, I'm just suggesting you. Yeah, go ahead. This is fine. Give some options to the people when you talk. Keep it friendly. So suggestive means friendly with respect. I repeat, suggestive means friendly with respect. Friendly with respect. And the final tone is called submissive. Right now I'm using a very submissive tone. Submissive means humble. Any crowd of this world can be you can break the ice with the help of a very humble tone. You can use a humble tone, you can win people's heart. You use a suggestive tone, you stay with them. You use an advising tone, you take them out of your life. And finally, you use an aggressive tone, they won't turn back to you. That is human nature. So use these basic techniques for your presentation. I know time is up, I'm sorry, but I believe that I have given you something which is informative as well as interesting, okay? So Syed Hanif sir, I guess my session is over. If there is anybody who would love to ask me any doubts, I'll be happy enough to clear that, based on the kind of experience you have.
Yeah, I think through chat box, there are 2 participants raised hand. Can you go through it?
Yeah, now it's going to be a big task because I have a lot of questions, a lot of things I can say.
There are 2 participants raised hand.
Okay, I'll do one thing. Let me put it this way. If you have a question, you can just give right now. You can ask. You can unmute and ask me a question, please. I'll be happy enough. Anybody?
Hello,
please
sir.
Unmute and ask.
May I
Yes,
have
go
your
ahead.
number, please?
Oh yeah, I'll be happy enough to put that in the chat box. Yeah,
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
put that across. Any other questions, please?
Sir, how to avoid
hello.
fillers?
One sec. Yeah, somebody's asking me. Go ahead, sister.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
How to avoid fillers?
Fillers. Oh, mashallah, that's a beautiful question. Let me put my number 949209124. Boom. Okay. Now, okay, you can even find it in my website www.ikan.in. Okay, fine. Now, let me put it this way: how to avoid fillers? Beautiful question by Ajina. Okay, the biggest problem with fillers is when our pace is fast. When we try to speak fast, the filler comes. When we don't get the word, the filler comes. So slow down. You need to slow down. And when you don't get the filler, just pause, just wait for some time, don't be in a rushing way, because people of different part of the earth, different countries have different ways of talking. Like if you come to Kerala in India, really, like there are people who are very fast in speaking. You got US, like black Afro-American brothers, like, they speak really fast. If you don't get the words, then you get stuck and a filler comes in. So the only way to reduce the filler is slow down. Slow down, have a slow pace. Okay, today I'm going to talk about, take a little time, few microseconds to think, organize your point, then you put it across. Hope I have cleared it out. Ajina.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Adil.
Yes, sir. You said a technique to catch up with the crowd, like seek technique, no?
Connecting. Yeah, connecting with the crowd.
Okay. So in that technique of seek, could we include a point called facts? Will it be suitable to include facts in the
Okay,
seek
now,
technique?
as you said, can I add something which is a relevant fact? If the fact which you're going to say, suppose you want to start the class with a very strong fact which is known to everyone, then it's absolutely fine. But if it is a fact which is going to create some doubt or maybe some controversial things in other people's, you make them think, then
My
there
question
is
was, will
always
the
a doubt
fact
that
will
gets
be getting
created.
criticized? Yeah, I
Pardon?
thought
Could you
the
please
fact
repeat that?
will be getting criticized in the crowd. That was my question. If we
No,
include the
that's
crowd, will
absolutely
it
very true. Because see, if you are going to take something, let's say you're going to talk about a fact which is acceptable by one part of crowd, another part of the crowd is not accepting, then it creates a lot of confusion in people's mind. So always carry something which is known to people, easy to understand, and that's the easiest way to break the ice. See, I'll put it this
and
way.
the third E included experience. So shall we include experience facts?
If it is an experience where you feel like that is connected with the topic which you're going to talk, absolutely fine, you can go ahead with that experience. So you can always say in the beginning, let me share an experience with you, then you can start off. Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Adil, next question.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Is it audible?
absolutely. Dr. Muhammad. Yes, this is
Yes,
audible.
yes. Thank you very much for your great lecture. My question is, can you give some suggestion that now we are going on online sessions, online training, online classes and all. Can you give some few interesting suggestions that can be utilized for our online sessions?
Okay, but the question is like, to whom you're going to take the session? The crowd. Because whatever you're going to speak depends on the kind of crowd.
Yeah, I
Yes,
used
go
to
ahead.
take online classes. I used to take online classes for my students, as well as I used to take some other sessions for some other general crowd also.
Okay, perfectly fine. Sir, when you want to start a session, it's always better you take up some curiosity built in things which is actually related to the topic which you're going to talk. And that has to be understandable to the crowd. Now, suppose if you are taking a class for a crowd, which is a series of students, and you're talking about some bigger terminologies or maybe something which is understandable to the adults, then it's going to be a little difficult. So you can relate with something that's happening with their lives. Now, for example, I'm an Indian, so I come from a basic government school, okay, where I study. So what I do is normally when I start for students, I ask, have you ever played this game called the duster throwing game? We have this game when we get a free time, we throw the dusters, we play like that inside the class. So what happens is we bring everybody to the same platform and we make them think. So you can even throw a question, that's absolutely fine. I said chords. Q also stands for quotes as well as question. And it all depends on the crowd which you're dealing with and depends on the topic which you're going to connect with. So that's what I would say. And if you can tell me what crowd, what topic, I'll be happy enough to give you some more suggestions. Or you can get in touch with me, sir. That'd be a great idea.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will just be in touch with you. Okay, welcome.
Please.
Thank you.
Another question.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Will be having one more option to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody can ask me a question, please.
Sir, you said how to catch up with the crowd. Will you give some tips on how to know a crowd and how to know their type and all? So facts and experiences can have only be delivered by only knowing the crowd.
I understand. See, I'll tell you, it's always better you know about the crowd before you start taking a session. Now, how will you know about the crowd? You should know what crowd is in front of you by, see, I can tell you, let me put it this way, okay? Before you go ahead and take a session, it's always, before you go and take a session, it's always better you inquire with the organizers to what kind of crowd you're going to deal with. And based on that, only you have to prepare your content as well as the icebreakers. Now, you are going to take take a session to a crowd which is very elderly. Like, I happened to take a session for elderly people, that was a very difficult session for me because, I'm a young guy. And those people are elderly, they're sitting like this. Now, why should I listen from this kid? This is an attitude. Now, in that case, what you can do is you have to break the ice with something which will make them think. For example, I'll give you a simple example, okay? I was telling something and these people are not listening. And they were like, okay, we have heard much about this. Like, what do you know about, more about? That was the kind of attitude. Then I said, if you understand something from my session, believe me, it was a session for a series of managers, okay, of a big retail chain. So they were like almost like 50 plus and 60, little elderly people, kind of gold merchants. So I was talking about the peach gold. So I said, sir, if you become the best of the managers, this is my best example I can tell you. If you become the best of the managers, even if you die, tomorrow a day will come, the organization is going to put a big board here, writing your name on the top list as the best of the best managers. Now, even if you're dead, your sons and your grandsons will remember by looking at this saying like, my grandfather was here once and he was the best of the managers. So that simple thing touch people's heart. Try to give the respect that they really want and feed them what they want. So you have to judge the crowd. You have to understand the crowd, do some, groundworks 1 or 2 days before the kind of crowd which is going to come. And if it is a general crowd, no need of thinking anything, okay? You shoot up with your own things. That's the only way I would say. If it's a general crowd, because you won't have time to judge all the people. That's it. Hope it's clear.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
2 questions. The first one is, how do you make an online platform a little more interesting and interactive?
Wow, that's a fantastic question.
The second question is, when you do a practical class, for example, I'm taking yoga classes, I'm taking meditation classes, how can you, I find it pretty difficult to connect. So there is a gap.
True. Okay.
Because you have to talk also, you have to perform that act also.
There are 2 things. If you are finished, I'll just start off.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Perfect. You asked me like, how can we make an online class more interactive, more effective? 2 ways. Now, depending on the class that you take. Number 1, as you said, you are taking a yoga as well as meditation that requires complete silence. So the only way you can do this is either, okay, I have 2 ways which I have tried. Since April, I'm trying, and I'm running an online platform called Interact, okay, where I experiment a lot of things. For me, like the first few weeks were really difficult because I was talking something and I was not able to link with the crowd. But when it comes to a real class, what happened? The body language is there, they can see me, they can feel me. So the first and most important thing is to set an objective and tell them, see, this is how the class is going to be. Feed them in that particular aspect. Okay, this is what the class is going to be. So they have to accept it. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is, as I said, you have certain things on the screen, like maybe a reaction button if you're using a laptop, or if you have something like a chat box. This can keep the crowd little interactive. Now, connecting with the crowd is only possible if the crowd is given the prior objective of why they have come to this platform. Otherwise, what happens is like, you are taking a session. There are n number of people are going to walk in and come and walk in and come. Now, if you are taking a class to a group of people, set the objective, tell them very frankly, this is the learning objective and you are going to spend this much of time with me. Crystal clear, you put the points in their head and then tell them, this is how it's going to be. So you need to go along with me to get the best output. This is number one. Number two is once in a while, if possible, like, you can go off the screen. Because when you go off the screen, again, the little curiosity happens over there. What happened, and you can give little, like, I would say like little meditations based on even you can go blank the screen and they can listen and do this also. You can come teach, you can do it. So make a little, ups and downs in that. So this is the only way where I think, we can handle the things over the internet because you see, I'm in a rectangle here. Normally, I don't do this. But I stand on a stage, the whole stage is mine. So this is a kind of very confined, what you call square. So these are the two things which I would say to make the crowd interesting. Yeah, and to make the crowd interesting, you can give some very practical examples, some good things they can understand better, relate them with real practical things which we can make them think. So session has to be thought-provoking. That's all. That's the only thing we can do on the platform, online platform. Nisar, sir,
Thank you, sir.
please.
Thank you.
Right. Any other?
Assalamu
Good
alaikum
evening.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Jazakallah khair, Mr. Mohamed Ehsan sir. I'm connecting from Abu Dhabi. My name is Rifai. So sometimes we are going to be giving in the presentation, sometimes the words repeating the rolled. How to manage that roll, rolling the words?
I just want to clarify. Is it like repeatedly saying some words, like again, again?
So,
is it something
yeah,
like that?
yeah. Not like that. If you say something, one word, it will be coming again to not come out from the tongue.
How is it coming? Inside your brain?
Because
could you please clarify
stuck over there. See, sometimes we are, this is a wonderful session. Dr. Mohamed is going and continuously they are giving very best, what is called, see, this time I stuck over there.
Okay, so I understand what you're trying to
I
say.
mean the words not continually coming out.
Correct. You're not able to relate with the next point which you're going to start off with. Am I correct?
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
The best way to get the right word is not having too much of things in your head. Like, for example, I can tell you, I guess you are the same person who suggested to read the Prophet Muhammad's peace be upon him, the book. I guess last time I was there in that session, one of the sessions here. Okay, Rafi sir, let me tell you, have 4 to 5 points in your head and try to work on that slowly. The moment you start thinking, okay, all these things has to come out, then the organizing part goes out of your hand. So initially you start off with 5 points, stick on the 5 points, and this has to be practiced by memorizing this thing. That's a very important thing. And when you get stuck, just wait for a second, okay, and try to relate with that. If you're not getting the point, you can even shoot a question to the crowd. So, okay, where I was actually, you can put a question to the crowd also. That's absolutely fine with that. Hope you understood.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Jazakallah khair.
It's actually fine to ask a question to the crowd, okay, because that actually relates you with the crowd again. Another question, please.
Yes, assalamu
alaikum. Adam, sir, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for a very wonderful presentation. I really had interest in this, but I have a little bit of a tight situation, but I'm lucky I'm able to place my question before it's closed out.
Please.
I'm talking about presentation where you have a lot of things to present on a screen. Okay. For instance, which is more preferable? Is it the graphics or the writings?
Word.
Which one will be preferable when you have so many things that need to be on a particular slide, but the slide will be crowded if you put it in writing? Yeah. So which one will be preferable? Is it the graphics or the texts?
Correct. Let me put it this way, very simple. So I would say If you have 4 to 5 bullet points, fair enough. You can go with 4 to 5 bullet points like sentences. If it's more than that, I would always suggest to go with a little graphics. Maybe a pie chart, maybe that graphs, whatever you put. These things will make, the pictures get stored more in the people's brain than sentences. You look at a newspaper, you don't understand, you don't recall every word that you see. You may remember the headlines of it. So more than text, I would suggest you to stick with graphics, maybe pie charts, maybe like, normal charts, maybe flow charts or whatever. And maybe like, maybe little animated things here and there that can always help you to get more attention from the crowd. And it will be easier for you not to fill that entire, the slide with texts, because people even get bored when they read the text too much. So this is my suggestion. But
so
again, once in a
is,
while you can keep writing. You can keep one couple of slides with sentences if there are bullet points for 4 to 5, maybe 6, maximum 6 lines of bullet points. Rest of the things you can keep it in graphics as well, not a problem.
So in this case, you're suggesting that the communication that comes out of you is more important.
Yes. In communication, suppose if you really feel like you want to explain the crowd with the help of graphics, that'll be a little more better. That the number, the pictures communicate better than words, I would say.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Brother Ikan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, so I think this is a time for wind up.
Complete the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, again, I would like to invite our brother Adam Ibrahim. He's part of our Teen Empowerment Club. Would like to say again, word of thanks to everyone, the participants. Brother Adam?
Yes. Assalamu alaikum all.
Thank you.
Yes, good evening. It's nice to have had all of you here tonight, and it's been a wonderful evening. And this presentation, I believe all of us benefited from it, including myself, because I have been able to ask some questions and got my answers correctly, and appreciate a lot about what Brother Ikan has given us tonight. And the words, the vote of thanks in most cases need to be short, but sometimes I feel I need to talk more, but I don't want to keep the people waiting, because when you talk too much, people get bored, just like he has just advised, and I don't want anyone to be bored. So on behalf of the Teen Empowerment Club, the Light of Kindness group,
thank you.
I would like to say a big thank you for this presentation. I know a lot of people have benefited more than expected. Some may not get enough of what they want. Some may still need your attention again, because I know somebody even requested for your number, and that's very interesting. And alhamdulillah, you graciously gave it out, and we remain grateful for that. And I hope you will continue to benefit our organization. And I have learned from you, and I hope to use the takeaways from this presentation in my further jobs or works for this organization. And we remain grateful for your effort, and we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you more success. And we look forward to seeing you again, or inviting you again to this. And I would like to also send general gratitude to the people for taking their time to grace this occasion this evening. And we pray that may everyone benefit as much as possible as we look forward. Can I take this opportunity to say thank you to Brother Said Hanif for initiating this idea, and his idea is going higher and higher and higher, and I hope to see it at the highest point someday. Thank you very much, Brother Hanif. Thank you, Brother Ikan, and thank you everyone for attending.
Okay,
And,
I would love to say one word, sir. Sorry to interrupt. If you would have noticed, Brother Adam Abraham was using the correct space. Each and every word was crystal clear. what he was saying. And I was about to tell other people, that is clarity.
Actually, he is our spoken English class trainer for low-income workers. Yeah, he's doing a very good job for low-income workers. We are doing free online classes for them. Last 12 weeks we conducted, and now again we are going to start the second batch.
Great, that's nice, really nice.
The other thing is a special thanks to Brother Ikan's team. I don't know their name. I want to list out everyone's name, but
a lot of students are there. They would love to see me.
I can understand he definitely has a wonderful team. Even from his presentation, I have a feeling already that there is more to him than we can see here. And inshallah will benefit more.
Again, we want to convey our special thanks to our Imam Shamsuddin Qasimi. MashaAllah, he did a great job and he circulated our program, and MashaAllah, most of them attended. And whoever attended, all are welcome. We have two initiatives. One is Teen Empowerment Club and one is Lights of Kindness. We already posted our contact numbers in the chat box. We keep contacting. Please join us.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah reward them abundantly, and we are really grateful for this support.
I'm very glad to announce you also, Brother Ikan will be always our, at least in every month he will be our speaker also.
Yeah, in fact I have seen him. I have seen him in a lot of our presentations, and that's really a motivation to us.
Last month, our South African scholar, Brother Idris, conducted the session. Brother Ikan was raised a very valuable, the question, and even he mentioned here, this talk also he mentioned.
Yeah. Life is always like that.
Now, Brother Ikan, now it is your time. Just you can wind up.
Thank you so much, all of you. May Allah bless, and with all the God's grace, believe me, learning should never be stopped. There's a saying like, learning must go on. So wherever you go, you have to learn something or other thing from other people, and take what is good from other people as well, so that you can implement that in your life. For me, like, I would always love to suggest 3 things which my guru, my trainer, the person who trained me said. He said, the books you read, the people you meet. The books you read, the people you meet, and the contacts you maintain. I repeat, the books you read, the people you meet, and the contacts you maintain will take you to the higher levels of your life. So have the goodness from other people, connect with the people. And it's not only about the famous or publicity. You're doing good, the good will come back to you. That's what I believe. So stay tuned, and
thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, shall I ask a question?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
There is a belated question, it seems.
No, they can send through WhatsApp.
They can send, you can send me a WhatsApp, or you can send me a link. Please, I'll be happy. All right?
All right. All right.
Thank you.